stop to wonder why butter tastes so irresistibly creamy? That golden square sitting on your breakfast toast carries a story much bigger than most of us realize. Butter isn't just a spread, it's a cultural icon. From flaky croissants in Paris to buttery popcorn at the movies in America, this simple food has shaped traditions, meals, and even economies. But here's the part most people never think about. The journey of butter begins long before it reaches your grocery store shelf. It starts in green pastures, inside the barns of dairy farms, and believe it or not, even inside the minds of cows themselves. Yes, the mood of the cow actually influences the butter you eat. This is where the story gets fascinating, because to understand the secret behind rich, creamy butter, you need to first understand the surprising connection between animal well-being and the taste on your plate. And that's exactly where we're headed next: the emotional life of cows, and how their happiness directly shapes the milk and eventually, the butter we all love. It might sound unbelievable, but cows are a lot like people. Their mood matters. ATHS. A stressed or anxious cow doesn't just suffer quietly. Her body releases cortisol, the very same stress hormone humans produce. That hormone suppresses her immune system, reduces the amount of milk she makes, and even changes the flavor and nutrition inside every drop. Now flip the story. Number 22. Picture a cow living in comfort. Clean barns, soft bedding, plenty of room to move around, and fresh air drifting through the pasture. In that setting, her body produces oxytocin, a hormone linked with calm, trust, and even bonding. Bonding ES. The result? Healthier cows, stronger immune systems, and milk that's richer, creamier, and naturally more flavorful. Modern dairy farms in states like Wisconsin and California invest heavily in animal welfare for this exact reason. Some even play soft music in barns because research shows cows relax, chew more steadily, and yield better milk when the environment feels safe. Number 1. It's a win-win. The animals thrive, and so does the product we depend on. But milk quality isn't shaped by mood alone. What goes into a cow's body shapes every ounce of milk she produces. And that brings us to the next chapter of our journey, the diet that turns ordinary milk into something truly extraordinary. You've heard the saying, "You are what you eat." Well, that's just as true for cows as it is for us. What a cow eats doesn't just fuel her body, it literally determines the taste, richness, and texture of the butter you spread on your bread. Grass-fed cows, grazing freely on lush pastures, produce milk that's higher in omega-3s, beta-carotene, and healthy fats, no tinty. That's why butter from grass-fed milk often has a deeper yellow color and a flavor people describe as fresher, nuttier, and more complex. It's no wonder grass-fed butter has become a premium product on shelves at Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. On the other side, grain-fed cows, those given a diet of corn, soy, and supplements, produce milk that's more consistent and abundant, which is ideal for large-scale production. 114. The butter might be milder in taste, paler in color, and easier to standardize for the mass market. Lawn 4. And it doesn't stop there. Some farms blend diets, alfalfa hay, silage, and even seasonal herbs to balance cost with flavor. Each choice leaves its fingerprint on the milk and eventually on the butter. So, next time you pick up a stick of butter, remember, you're not just buying dairy, you're tasting the story of what that cow ate months before. But how do farmers make sure cows get exactly what they need? In today's world, it isn't just about hay and grass, it's about technology. And that leads us straight into the next part. How smart farming tools are revolutionizing the way we monitor and protect cow health. Step inside a modern dairy farm today, and you'll notice something surprising. Technology is everywhere. Cows don't just roam and graze, they wear smart collars and ankle monitors, almost like fitness trackers for livestock. These devices record everything: heart rate, body temperature, chewing patterns, even how often the cow lies down to rest. Why does this matter? Because each of these signals is a clue. If a cow suddenly stops eating as much, or her activity levels drop, the system alerts farmers immediately. With this data in hand, a farmer can act before small problems, like stress or minor illness, turn into serious issues that threaten both the animal. Artificial intelligence is also joining the field. Some farms now use computer vision cameras to detect early signs of lameness or discomfort by analyzing the way cows walk. Others use automated feeding systems that deliver the right mix of nutrients at the right time, customized for each cow. It's precision farming at its finest. Healthier cows, less waste, and milk that stays consistent in both quality and flavor. But technology is just one piece of the puzzle. Once the cows are healthy and ready, it's time for the most familiar step of all: milking. And the way farms handle this process says a lot about the care and the cleanliness behind every glass of milk. When milking time arrives, everything runs like clockwork, but with a surprising amount of care. Cows step calmly into individual stalls, where soft rubber cups are gently attached to their udders. The suction is mild, designed to feel natural and painless, almost like a calf would nurse. Cleanliness here isn't optional, it's sacred. Every surface the cow touches is rinsed and sanitized before and after milking. Why? Because even the smallest trace of bacteria could compromise an entire batch of milk. In the United States, strict USDA standards require farms to test milk constantly for safety, ensuring only the purest batches move forward. But here's a detail that often gets overlooked. Every cow in that line is a mother. And once the milking is finished, she isn't sent away to wait alone. She's brought back to her calf. That reunion reduces stress, helps the calf grow stronger, and allows the mother to continue producing high-quality milk. It's a reminder that behind every gallon is a living bond between animal and farmer, one built on trust and respect. From here, the journey shifts from barn to plant. The milk, still fresh and chilled, is loaded into refrigerated trucks and sent off for the next step in its transformation, SXE. And that's where the science of food safety takes over. Coming up next, how raw milk is tested, pasteurized, and prepared before it can even think about becoming butter. Once the milk leaves the farm, the clock is ticking. Within 24 hours, it must arrive at the processing plant, still ice cold, still fresh, still bursting with potential, meaning it. But before a single drop is used, the milk faces its first big test, ISP. Technicians check it for bacteria, contaminants, fat levels, and protein content, HS. If anything falls short, that batch is rejected. HS. Only the best makes it forward. Next comes pasteurization, a process that protects us all, 19 man. The milk is heated to an ultra-high temperature, around 280 to 285 degrees Fahrenheit, for just a few seconds. This rapid burst of heat destroys harmful microbes while preserving flavor and nutrition. Immediately after, the milk is cooled down to near refrigeration levels. 2. Think of it as a controlled storm heat, then cold that locks in safety without sacrificing quality. But safety doesn't end there. The storage tanks, pipes, and containers are scrubbed to surgical levels of cleanliness. 2. Any slip-up here could taint an entire production line. It's food science meeting discipline, and it's the foundation of every dairy product we enjoy. Now, with milk safe and stable, it's time for the real magic to begin. Through a high-speed spinning process, the milk is separated into two very different but equally important parts, cream and skim milk. And that's where the story of butter truly takes shape. At this stage, the milk enters a centrifuge, a machine that spins at incredible speed, separating the heavy cream from the lighter skim milk, FSM. In just minutes, two entirely different products emerge, each with its own destiny. Skim milk, stripped of most of its fat, is the lighter sibling, WT. With fewer calories and less saturated fat, it's a favorite for people managing weight or heart health, HT. Yet it still carries the same calcium, protein, and vitamins that make milk such a nutritional powerhouse, HT. That's why you'll find it poured into cereal bowls across America every morning. The cream, on the other hand, is the treasure chest, VGist. Thick, rich, and loaded with butter fat, this is where butter begins. The higher the fat content, the silkier and more luxurious the butter will be. Some dairies adjust cream by blending it with skim milk, fine-tuning the fat percentage to achieve just the right balance of flavor and texture, AR. It's a fascinating duality. From the same gallon of milk, you get two very different stories, health-conscious skim and indulgent cream. And it's the cream, of course, that now takes center stage. Not today, because once you have cream, the real transformation begins. Through a process both scientific and artistic, that cream is churned into the golden blocks we call butter. Next up, the mesmerizing journey of churning butter, where science meets tradition, and liquid cream turns into solid gold. Now comes the moment where cream becomes something magical, the churn. For centuries, families used wooden churns, pushing a paddle up and down until cream thickened into butter. Today, the process is faster, bigger, and guided by precision machinery, but the principle hasn't changed. Inside the churn, cream is agitated so the fat molecules bump into one another. Over time, they clump together, separating from the liquid buttermilk. What begins as a smooth white liquid slowly transforms into soft golden grains of butter. It's chemistry in motion, but to watch it feels almost like alchemy. If the cream is cultured with lactic acid bacteria, the butter develops a tangy, nutty depth of flavor, what many know as European-style butter. Without it, you get a milder, sweeter profile, the kind most common in American kitchens, LC. Either way, the texture is key: silky, spreadable, and rich. But even here, mistakes can happen. Over-churning can make butter too dry, while under-churning leaves it greasy and uneven. That's why skilled butter makers, whether in giant factories or small artisanal shops, watch the process carefully, adjusting speed, temperature, and timing until the texture is perfect, COS. And once the butter is born, its story doesn't stop. It carries history, culture, and even a touch of luxury, AT. To understand just how far butter has traveled, we need to step back in time to when it wasn't just food, but a symbol of wealth and power, Jauntio. Coming next, the fascinating history of butter, from medieval currency to modern kitchens. Butter has never been just food, it's been status, symbolism, and survival, noble MAT. In medieval Europe, butter was so prized that nobles used it as a form of currency. Owning it meant wealth. Serving it at the table was a mark of elegance. Fast forward to America in the 20th century, and butter became a household staple, fueling everything from Sunday pancakes to holiday feasts. HEA. But history isn't the only layer here. Packaging has played its role too. 9. In the early days, butter was wrapped in simple cloth or parchment. No people die. Today, it's protected in aluminum foil, wax paper, or polyethylene-coated wraps to keep out air and moisture. AGS. Restaurants and bakeries often rely on bulk blocks, while supermarkets carry everything from classic sticks to resealable tubs. MS. About 40% of butter on US. Shelves now comes in plastic containers, stackable, convenient, and built for the busy modern kitchen. Culture has its say as well. In France, butter is an art form, with salted varieties earning near religious devotion. In America, it's comfort food. Think popcorn drenched at the movie theater, or a Thanksgiving table lined with dinner rolls and a stick of golden butter melting into every bite. DCT. Butter, in short, isn't just about flavor, GOS. It's about identity, tradition, and the way food connects us across centuries and continents, GOS. But while mass production keeps butter on every shelf, a quieter revolution is bringing back old-world techniques and handcrafted flavor. And that's where our journey ends, with the revival of artisanal butter and what it means for your plate today. Up next, the artisanal revival, what it means for you. Just when you thought butter couldn't get more interesting, it's making a comeback not in factories, but in small workshops where craft still matters. No. Across France, artisans like Jean-Yves Bourdier hand-knead butter on wooden paddles, blending in seaweed, smoked salt, or espelette pepper, ASA. Each batch is unique, each bite carrying centuries of tradition, EGCT. That spirit has crossed the Atlantic, 1914. In Vermont, Wisconsin, and even Amish country, American dairies are reviving the old ways. They're using grass-fed milk, fermenting cream with live cultures, and shaping butter by hand. The result? Flavors that are deeper, textures that are silkier, and products that tell a story far beyond store brand. Consumers are noticing. Demand for organic, non-GMO, and small-batch butters is rising every year. Food lovers pay more for butter that feels authentic, butter that connects them to the farm, the soil, and the people behind it. In a world of mass production, artisanal butter feels like a small act of luxury, a reminder that quality is worth seeking out. Number 9. And that's the lesson hidden in this golden block. Butter isn't just fat and flavor. It's history, science, culture, and care all combined into one product we often take for granted. So the next time you spread butter across warm toast, remember, you're tasting a journey that began with a cow's contentment, passed through the hands of farmers and makers, and ended right at your table. If you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us, because every food you love has a secret journey waiting to be told.
And there you have it, the hidden life of butter. From happy cows in open pastures to the golden blocks on your kitchen table. It's a story of science and tradition, of farmers and artisans, and of the choices we make every time we pick up a stick of butter at the store, even tea. But this is just one journey, $19. Every food we eat carries a story just as fascinating, and we're here to uncover them all step by step, farm to fork. If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next adventure. Share this with a friend who loves food as much as you do, and let us know in the comments what other foods do you want to see behind the scenes. Thanks for watching, and remember, the world's most ordinary foods often have the most extraordinary stories. See you in the next video.